this is the Devops mock interview day 54. We already completed 53 mock interviews. Whoever watching this video on YouTube, please go and check all 53 mock interviews in the playlist section. There is already playlist is created, Devops interview question and answers. There you can find all mock interviews. Now we are going to wait for candidates to attend this mock interview. Once they join, right, we will start the mock interview. So please like this video so that I can able to record the next mock interview as well, and I will upload in the YouTube. If I am not getting any likes from you, right, so there is no point in recording this mock interview. I will not record it and I will not upload. So if you want the next mock interview, like this video. That's it. Yeah, hi Sunil. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. My name is Sunil Shikalodi, a software engineer with 5 years of experience in the industry. And my expertise spans several critical areas like operations and development. And we are using a Git for a version control. And I have a hands-on experience with the Jenkins. And I utilize Ansible to streamline the process and containerization with the Dockers and Kubernetes for monitoring. I rely on a Grafana to ensure the system performance. And infrastructure as a tool, we are using Terraform in my organization. And thank you so much.
Yeah, so you got it right to how you perform. I no need to tell. So there is some
Yes,
confusion while introduce yourself.
yes, yes,
Yeah, I think you got it. I no need to tell.
yes.
Yeah, and Sati, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Aniseti Venkatesh. I have 5 years of experience. I have good knowledge in DevOps in Git, Jenkins, Maven, SonarQube, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. We create pipelines and continuous integration and deployment. We give and security permissions and SonarQube. I work with Docker containerization. We creating Docker image, Docker file. I have good experience in Kubernetes for orchestrating and scaling and applications. My proficiency in infrastructure as a code demonstrate through my use of Terraform. Additional, I'm shell scripting to automate tasks, utilize Prometheus and Grafana, and monitoring and visualization. My background equips to be drive efficient and reliable DevOps practice in any dynamic environment. That's it from my side.
Yeah, and Sati, there is some confidence is missing. Okay, and you said you have
Okay.
knowledge, but you should mention experience. So knowledge will mentioned by freshers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So shall we start the mock?
Yes, yes.
Okay, how do we handle sensitive data in Git? How do you handle sensitive data in Git repository, ensuring they don't get committed accidentally? So you have some security files or
Yeah,
passport files in the Git, right?
yeah,
So how you will
yes,
manage that?
yes, and we creating token and we purpose on security credentials.
Sorry.
We create some new token. We add some credentials.
No, I am asking you how would you handle sensitive data in Git repository so it should not be committed.
Okay.
Sunil?
Hello. Yes, sir. Handling the sensitive data in a Git is a crucial protection credential. So we can provide the keys and other credential information from the being exposed here. So we can use a .git ignore to exclude sensitive data in the Git file.
Super, you are right.
.git ignore.
Yes, you are right. So you got it right, Anisetti? We can
Yes,
use .git ignore file. Using that, we can able to preserve our password. It will be not committed. So how would you handle a situation where you need to force push changes to a shared branch? Like nothing but I want to forcefully push the changes to the branch. Okay, and simultaneously team is also working on the same branch. So how you will manage that situation? So there is one branch called as master. On that master branch, everyone will going to push the changes. Okay, and there is some bug fix. You want to forcefully push it to the branch. So how you will tackle this situation?
Sir, before pushing the changes, we have to like a local branch. We are ensuring the local branch first. Git fetch and version. So after that, we have to pull the origin like a branch name. So this pull in the changes made other changes like git push origin and the main branch. This is the command we are using.
Okay. So
Yes.
how do you implement zero downtime deployment for high traffic web application using Jenkins and blue-green deployment? So using a blue-green deployment strategy, how you will implement it zero downtime for a web application using
Yeah.
Jenkins?
Yeah, blue green deployment is nothing but it's a zero downtime we have to mention. So blue deployment we have to there is a one two versions will be there. So once we are having the one the current version. Uh, so in the current version we have to change to the green version. Then the blue version will be uh, set down. So green deployment will be running.
Sorry, come again.
Actually, blue green deployment it's nothing but a zero downtime we have to follow. So in the blue grip deployment, we are having the two versions. If you upgrade the one version means, so first what we have to do in the blue deployment that will be the remain same, and the green deployment we have to update the new version. So
Super.
once we
Yes.
update the new version in the green deployment, so after that what we have to do we have to shut down the green deployment, blue deployment. The shutdown in
We
the sense it will
we
be
will
decided.
not shut down. We will send the traffic. Okay. We will just
We will
move the
send the traffic to
we
the
will move the traffic
yes.
from one environment to other environment. Don't tell shutdown. You will lose
No,
your
okay,
interview.
okay.
Okay.
Follow.
How would you set up Jenkins to trigger a build automatically whenever there is a new commit in the Git repository? Okay, whenever there is a new commit in the Git, automatically job should be started in the Jenkins. So how you will do that?
Yes. Sir, setting up a Jenkins to trigger our jobs automatically, we have one key features that is a continuous integration and continuous development pipeline. So in that, so we are having the Git webhooks actually. So to automatically trigger a webhooks in a Jenkins, code push to the GitHub first. So after that, we have to configure the GitHub or whatever Git webhooks. So we have to navigate the webhooks. Okay. Then we have to payload the URL. in the and we have to configure the Jenkins job in the source code management. That's obviously Git. So main is the payload URL we have to trigger, sir.
Okay.
We have to give the URL in the GitHub. We have to mention the Jenkins file.
But you have mentioned that everything was done. How you will trigger it in Jenkins? That's the question. Build should be started in Jenkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, polling ACM, sir.
Super. Yes. I'm expected this.
Poll- Okay. Okay. Polling ACM, for example, trigger of 5 minutes only. I'm giving an example. 5 and triple star. It will automatically trigger 5 minutes after 5 minutes.
Okay. Polesium you can use, or for every commit means we can
Yes.
use.
Yes, yes. Payload URL also. Once we push the any commit from GitHub, it will automatically trigger in a
So
Jenkins
how
pipeline.
many types of triggers are there? Build triggers. Polesium.
Poll SCM.
And a cron job.
Just you try to Google it. How many types of build triggers are there? Remote. There is one remote via script we can able to do. One is Polesium.
Poll SCM cron jobs and downstream jobs also there, and API CLI and pipeline triggers.
Sorry.
So use a declarative scripted. We can script a trigger job also.
Declarative. I didn't get you. I'm
Yes.
asking about the triggers. How many types of triggers are there?
Yeah, webhooks and poll SCM cron jobs.
Types of build. So first one was trigger build remotely, build after other projects, build periodically, GitHub webhook trigger. Right? GitHub webhook trigger you need to use if you
Okay.
want to perform on every right on Git pull. Whenever there is a change, whenever there is a new commit, you can use GitHub webhook trigger, not a pool SCM, because I have mentioned for every new commit.
Yes, yes, yes. So once the developer push the code in Git repository, it will automatically trigger in a Jenkins pipeline.
Okay, how would you handle a situation where your Docker containers are running out of disk space due to unused images and stopped containers?
So Docker prawn commands we are using, sir, unused um,
Yes, you are
Docker
right.
images.
You are right. So we need to delete the unused images so that
Yes.
we will get a space, disk space. So how do you optimize Docker container startup time for a Node.js application in production environment? How do you optimize startup time, container startup time for a Node.js application? Okay, how would you debug and fix a pod that is stuck in crash loop back off in Kubernetes? How would you debug and fix a pod that is stuck in crash loop back off in Kubernetes?
So, so we can check the pods first we have to kubectl get pods. So we will look after the status column, and we have to view the logs we are using the kubectl logs pod name. After that, in the pod has multiple containers. Specify the container names, kubectl logs, and pod name minus c container name.
Super, you are right. By describing the pod, by seeing the logs, we need
Yes,
to
yes.
check why it is failing. Then after we can able
Yeah,
to
yeah, we
troubleshoot.
can view the logs.
Okay, how would you like manage environment specific configuration? Like for suppose there is a development environment, production environment in Kubernetes, right? Without changing the YAML files. So there are environment specific configuration files are available, but without changing your main manifest file, how you will provide the configurations? You can use config maps. How do you
Okay.
handle state locking in Terraform when multiple engineers are working on the same infrastructure?
How would you handling state lock in Terraform?
Yeah, when multiple engineers are working on same infrastructure. Hello?
In a Terraform, state locking is a mechanism. So prevent multiple users and making the current changes in the same infrastructure. So first we have to default behavior of a state locking, and handling the state locking in a remote backends using S3 with a DynamoDB for state locking.
Right, you are right. So we can use
And
S3 as a remote backend. Like that,
yes.
we can use our state file in the remote location, and by DynamoDB we can able to set up the locking feature so that even multiple engineers are working on the same infra. So if one not using, other will be get locked. Okay, how would you manage infrastructure across multiple AWS account that too using Terraform? Okay, if you have one AWS account, you will configure and you will run. But if you have multiple AWS accounts, right, how would you manage that? That too using Terraform.
So managing infrastructure with a Terraform involving we have best practices and strategies. First, organize our code base, directory structures we have to follow. So use a modular structure modulars means code creating a reusable modules. This proper don't respect ourselves. So modules we can use the VPC in the module sections. So apart from that, version control is also we have to follow, and we are using a remote state management, and we can define the variables and outputs in the Terraform.
Okay, here the problem is not about configuration files or all state file. It is a problem with the accounts, AWS accounts.
Mhm. Can you repeat the question, sir? I'll recall.
How would you manage infrastructure across multiple AWS accounts using Terraform?
Yeah, using secret key and secret management key.
There are multiple AWS accounts.
Mm.
Okay, and in the multiple AWS account, you need to create a infra. How you will manage that?
No, sir.
How would you manage configuration drift using Ansible for an infrastructure across multiple regions? Okay, there are multiple regions are there. In that multiple regions using Ansible, okay, you need to deploy. Okay, how do you handle dynamic inventories in Ansible for cloud infrastructure like AWS? Okay, shall we check the answers?
Yes, sir.
So the first question was, how would you handle sensitive data in Git repository? So first thing, for suppose if you have pushed your keys, right, first you need to delete that. So remove the sensitive data from the history using BFG repo cleaner or git filter branch. So BFG delete files and the file name. It will be removed from the history of your git. Okay. Or you can use next thing you need to use dot git ignore file to avoid further mistakes. Or you can use a secret scanning tools like Git Guardian to prevent further leaks. How would you handle a situation where you need to force push changes to a shared branch but the team relies on the branch? So due to an urgent bug fix, you must rewrite commit history on the master branch, but the team has already pulled the latest changes. How do you mitigate the disruption? Okay, like just imagine I am a developer. Okay, I have pushed some changes, right? And there is an issue. In that already multiple that branch was using by multiple people. Okay, now I need to force push the other changes. Okay, notify the team to hold off on pulling changes until you complete the force push. So just tell to the people, hey, don't pull any new changes from now. Okay, you can rewrite the branch history. Just git rebase minus I. You can move the history from using head. Then git push origin master force. Then it will be changed. Then ask your team to fetch git fetch origin and git reset -f hard. They can use git reset or you can use git fetch. So how do you implement zero downtime deployment for do you know git fetch versus git pull?
No, no, sir. Can you please explain a little bit?
Git pull you will get the changes. What are the changes present in the right master, you will get that changes. If you use git fetch, right,
Mm.
your changes will not be get into the working tree. It will be stayed in your local. Whenever you merge, right, your changes will be get back to the working tree. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if I tell you with real life example, just imagine. Okay. So my friend is there. Okay. We have planned to go to a movie. Okay. But movie was too much far away. Like for suppose he need to travel. Okay. Nearly 3 hours to reach the mall. Okay. What I said, hey, do a fetch. So fetch nothing but I have told him to okay, stay in the nearest restaurant. Okay. Once the movies start right before 1 hour, he can able to come from restaurant. The PVP theater will be like whatever it may be, it will be nearer to him. Okay, rather than directly coming to the mall, he has used some restaurant as a medium. So he will stay there after some time. Once the movie time approaches nearer, then he will go to the theater. Getting my point? That is a fetch, git fetch. If you do git pull, so he will not use any medium, restaurant and all. He will directly go to the theater. Getting my point? In real time also, sometimes you don't want the changes present in the remote repository right now in your local system. So what you will do, you will just do git fetch. It will be stored, okay, separately in your local in your system only. It will be stored in somewhere, but it will not add it to your actual files. After some time, whatever you do your work, right, then you can add that changes to your local system using git merge. So git pull is equal to git fetch plus git merge. How do you implement zero downtime deployment for a high traffic web application using Jenkins and blue green deployment? So set up two environments: blue current live environment, green new version. Deploy the new version of to the green environment using Jenkins. Okay, then you can switch the traffic from blue to green via load balancer, or you can change the selector, right, tags using this command kubectl path service name. So under the spec there is a selector, change version to green. How would you set up Jenkins to trigger a build automatically when there is a new commit in Git repository? Okay, I told you, right, you can enable Git hooks in your GitHub webhook, notify Jenkins. In the build trigger, select poll SCM and set the schedule to, or you can use the remote Git remote, or you can use GitHub webhook trigger as well. If you want to call your job via URL, you can use that one as well, git remote. So how would you handle a situation where your Docker containers are running out of disk space due to unused images and stopped containers? So Docker system prune -a, you can delete the unused volumes or containers, or you can schedule this cron job as well. Okay, automatically it will, if there is a unused there, it will automatically delete it. So how do you optimize Docker container startup times for a node application in production? So your Node.js Docker container is slow to start, impacting deployment speed in production. How do you optimize the container startup time? Okay, use a multi-stage build in Docker to reduce image size. Okay, from node as build, copy npm, then copy the generated. Just a moment, I will attach the adapter. Okay, from the top stage, I will copy the necessary files here. Then I will start the application. So like that, you can able to reduce the overhead. For building this, right, it will take hell lot of time, right?
Yes.
So if it is taking the time, automatically the load will be increased for the image. If the load was increased, if the space is increased, automatically the startup time will increase. So how would you debug a fix a pod that stuck in crash loop back off? So kubectl logs pod name, kubectl describe pod and the pod name. You can see the events. Okay. So investigate issues like missing configuration files, incorrect configuration images, or resource limit. If the issue is with the application, right? So
Mm.
you can delete the pod. Then automatically new pod will be created if you are running the deployment. Yes or no? If it is a deployment file, what it will do, if whenever you delete the pod, it will recreate a new pod. then there will be no issues, because if there is any configuration issues, then your pod will going issue, right? At that time, if there is issue from our side, definitely we can able to fix. But if the issue we at the code level, we cannot able to fix, right? We need to recreate it with the updated version of image, with Docker image, right? Whatever image. Okay, getting my point? If the developer has a bug in the application, obviously application will not work, right? He need to fix that issue. Again, we will create a new version of image. With that image, we will create a pod. So once we delete the pod, what it will do? It will recreate the pod with the newer version of image. So our problem will be solved, right?
Yes.
So if the issue is with the application, fix it and restart the pod. Restart is nothing but recreating. Getting? How would you manage environment specific configuration? So you can create a config maps for each environment. Okay, like this, you can create the YAML file. Using YAML file also you can create, or directly using command also you can create. So state logging, you need to use a remote backend, DynamoDB table. So how would you manage infrastructure across multiple AWS account? You can create a workspaces, right, for a particular environment. You can use multiple providers. Okay, provider AWS. You can give alias as name, provider AWS. You can give the region, access key and secret key. Okay, separately. So I told you that multiple accounts, nothing but multiple providers. Okay,
But here only AWS are there. Like,
sorry.
so you mentioned only AWS here, both like AWS.
Yeah, multiple AWS accounts I'm telling.
Account, not a provider. Okay.
Just read this, multiple AWS accounts using Terraform. So if you want to create an EC2 instance, okay, and you can define the provider for resource level as well. So for AWS dev, create an EC2 instance. For AWS prod, create an EC2 instance. How would you manage configuration drift using Ansible? You can use Ansible Tower like that. It is a paid version, but yeah, if you want to, for multiple reasons, if you want to manage, you can use Ansible Tower. You can schedule that using Ansible Tower. Nothing but it's like same like Jenkins. How you have Jenkins, where we can able to create the jobs, schedule the jobs, right? Same like Ansible Tower will is for Ansible playbooks. This is just a sample playbook. So how do you handle dynamic inventories in Ansible for cloud infrastructure like AWS? Okay, you in the Ansible configuration file, right? You can define the inventory, or you can define the inventory script. So what this inventory script will do? Inventory script will fetch the information from your account. Okay, nothing but every time there is some changes will be happening. Then at that time, how you will fetch that information? Your infrastructure is dynamic with instances being spin up and down frequently in AWS. You need to ensure that Ansible is aware of the changes and you can dynamically target the correct servers. So how do you configure this? So the use Ansible dynamic inventory script specifically for AWS to ensure that Ansible targets the correct servers dynamically. So for that, you need to first install the Boto3 plugin. Then after, you can give the script in the inventory file. So use ec2.py inventory script which fetches the live information from AWS. So Ansible playbook -i ec2.py and the YAML file. It will be a little bit tricky to understand. Okay, like this you can able to manage. So that's it for today. I will stop the recording.